I do wish I had, and we'll talk about this on the other side. I do wish I had a guy as it relates to kids orthodontics connections. Although that said, can I say this?
Yeah.
You know how you walk into these places, your dentist, your mechanic, your any sort of medical, they'll say some stuff and you might be like, all right, sounds like I need it.
Yeah.
And so like they'll call it like a package or they'll call it like something akin to a warranty or a membership or something like that. And you'll be like, oh, it's an upcharge, but it sounds like something you need. Went to the orthodontic appointment with my daughter and they're like, and we'll get you in the VIP retainer club. Let's say that the braces cost, let's say $2,500. And of that $2,500, the VIP retainer club is like $500 of it. And I think, unless you're in dental, maybe like this guy, I think 99% of people are going to be like, well, I need to be VIP retainer club. What's that? Oh, something happens to the retainer, we'll replace it next day or whatever for $30. Mind you,
Oh,
mind you, you're paying $500 to be in the club, but they'll replace it for 30. Okay.
you just get an insurance on your deductible for a new retainer that you're going to have to replace
So I looked at it and
at least some point.
I was like, what's the retainer? And she was like, what do you mean? And I was like, what is it made of? She was like, it's just the little clear retainers. And I was like, yeah. Is it? And I used an industry term,
Okay. Yeah.
whatever.
No, use it. Use it.
I said, is it an Essex retainer? And she said, I don't know. I think so because the pitch is being pitched to you by an assistant, not the dentist.
Yeah. She
So I
doesn't
said,
expect that part of her sales pitch is going to require this level of detail for most people that are
sure.
not in dental.
So I said, okay, can we just wait till the dentist comes back in when you finalize whatever this treatment plan is, and I'll have the discussion with her. No disrespect. Sorry.
Oh, sounds disrespectful though. Did you say no disrespect?
Yes, I did.
You were so fed up at that point.
I
You were
wasn't
so
fed up. I'm just used to dealing with 25 to 30-year-old dental assistant who has every great intention in the world. I'm not saying this person was bad, but sometimes the knowledge, when you start asking secondary, tertiary questions, it's lacking. And I have had it a number of times where I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be disrespectful here. Can I just wait to talk to the dentist? That happens all the time in my everyday work life. So I asked that respectfully in this scenario. The dentist comes in and I said, hey, can I just get this straight here? The $500 VIP program that you're trying to sell, which I get. Don't get me wrong. I'm not mad at anybody for making money, but is it just an Essex retainer? And she was like, oh, yeah, it is. How'd you know that? Oh, yeah, I forgot you work at a dental lab. I was like, all right, we'll just take care of that. Can you please remove that cost? If indeed we get into a situation where that's necessary, I'm more than capable of taking care of it. Will you just provide me with the STL files so I can do it myself? Oh, yeah,
You hear
yeah, yeah.
that?
We'll take care of it.
You hear this guy?
Do you want to know why?
More than capable.
Yeah, do you want to know why I say that? And again, I feel bad that, nobody knows this. Your child gets into some sort of orthodontic treatment. Afterwards, to move to the next phase, they need a retainer that basically just holds everything in place. Okay? A lot of times. They'll wear it at night.
Why do they need that, by the way? Like, why?
Because they're growing in the corrective work that they've just done. If they don't hold everything in place, everything will start to either drift in a different direction or drift back to the way it was. Okay?
Okay.
The retainers, the Essex retainers that they sell you, I know this, are made out of these little plastic sheets. Okay? And these little plastic sheets, like per sheet, cost like $2. The sheet costs like $2. Now the machine to make it into a retainer costs like $5,000. Okay.
Oh,
And
so they're getting their money back real fast.
Yeah, but each time the orthodontist sends that to the dental lab to be made, the dental lab is probably charging anywhere from $50 to $60. So they're asking you for $500. they're charging you $30 per retainer. And you're probably going to have to replace it like twice in the life of this. Maybe. They're not like durable things. Kids might lose it, chew it, step on it, something. So all in, they're all in on this thing for you having to replace it twice, maybe $120, and they're charging you $500 up front and then $30 per replacement incident.
That's a racket.
I mean, it's a hell of a markup, my man. You know what I mean? It's a hell of a markup.
You're damn right. I know what you mean.
It's a hell of a markup. I didn't intend to talk about all that, but you guys seeing this weather? It's raining.
Oh,
we sure needed it.
We sure did. We sure
needed it. Needed it.
I'm sorry I'm late. I had to re-authenticate to like 8 different things that all required 2 factors of authentication.
16 authentications, huh?
I had, what would that be? The septideca factor authentication.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, and my mouth has never been drier, so I had to get a big old refill of water in the old Yeti.
Yeah, you did.
On the other side, we're going to talk about Rylan. Was AI involved in this authentication?
No, but I mean, it's more part of my life than I would like it to be.
On the other side, we're going to do bang an intro real quick. And on the other side, we're going to talk about having a guy. Jace thinks that my particular field of work, having a guy there is useful because you always need a guy. And then I'd like to complain about AI. And I do want to have generic corny guy AI talk, but I don't want to have AI talk, if that makes sense. Can I just treat AI like a bad grocery store visit? Will you allow me?
Yeah, sure. I want to hear about chemical explosions. The listener has.
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right.
About the chemical explosion.
Let's do that.
Human dads.
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 Podcast.
Human dads.
Podcast.
Human dads.
Podcast.
Human dads.
Podcast. Human dads. Get up off your ass.
Human dads.
Podcast.
Human dads.
Podcast.
Human dads.
Podcast.
Human dads.
Get up off your ass.
Oh your mom.
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 Tell your mom to listen. Tell your mom to listen. Tell your mom to listen. Tell your mom to listen.
Get up off your ass for the Human Dads Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies
and the gentlemen, I am Bricked Up Brad. That is Soup Mix Row, and he puts the douche in fiduciary.
He workshopped that.
Oh,
Good job.
Jay South. Jay
that was
South.
good.
Oh, hard out, Jay South at 10 o'clock a.m. So stand prepared.
Just a hard 10 I got.
Stand apprised, Rylan. We got 42 minutes with this.
Hey, me too. So
Oh, fuck.
let's make this thing punchy. Let's make it quick. Maybe we can format it in a way that actually
Quickly then check in as a how you're doing. Do a weekend check brought to you by some regional, small but heard of, kind of maybe known business in your everyday life. In other words,
I have nothing to report. I feel like there's just been kids spending the night at my house all week, and people going to Hawaiian Falls every day. Yeah, hung out with some friends on Friday night. Just hung out, bullshitting and drinking, and the wives played the mahjong. Have you guys heard about the craze sweeping the suburban nation? Everybody playing mahjong.
Yes, I told you about this like 2-3 years ago, and you looked at me like I was a foreigner or something. Like,
oh well, you'll be shocked to hear I don't remember that.
Yeah,
but I've been playing it with some friends once a month. It's fine. It's fun. I kind of like it. But Courtney's like a world beater at this game, guys. Like I got a winner on my hands here.
How
I'm gonna
long
have to get her
have
into
y'all
Club
been playing?
Mahjong. Courtney's probably played like 8 times.
Okay, so there's
I've
always
played like
one.
5. I've played like 5 times.
Yeah, there's
maybe.
always one that starts out on a heater, and it's typically because
Oh, you think it's a heater?
uh-huh.
You're gonna have to talk
No.
to her about that.
Has she signed any letters of intent yet, or is she like still considering options? Like, what's her mahjong professional career
Keeping
looking
it-
like?
Just kind of keeping it on the down low right now. Gonna do
Yeah.
a little barnstorming.
Okay. Good. Jace, what can you tell us about the sleep apnea beat?
Oh, things are pretty steady on the sleep apnea. I am reaching old guy stage where I'm dealing with some benign positional vertigo all the time, just always. Like, I always have something where if I turn my damn head too fast, I get dizzy, and then my adrenaline kicks in because, that's what happens. And then you get fight or flight, and then for the rest of the day, you feel like shit. That's kind of what I deal with every once in a while. That's
As a
fun.
vertigo survivor, though, I could see how the initial imbalance would trigger ultimate fear because you have been laid up on the couch where you couldn't even function at home alone with the children and had to get cucked by some GFD ambulatory paramedic firefighters coming in,
Dude,
protecting
I
your
wish I was
house
on the
and
couch.
children.
I was in my bed.
Oh, you were in your bed mid-interview with a stranger and a coworker.
It started mid-interview. Then I went to the bed to try to get better, and it got much worse. And then had to have the GFD come over and take me to the hospital.
In front of your children with your sack out, just carrying
There's no
you in.
sack out, dude. I don't walk around with my sack out.
You are the one that infamously said, I don't know.
Neither,
You hit the
'Cause it didn't happen.
you hit the bold B when you typed this one. You said every time I get in the bed, it's either Winnie the Pooh or full nude.
Yeah, but this was during work hours, dude. I don't.
I'm
disrobe
sorry, you
this-
said you were in the bed, so I assumed full
You're an
nude or
idiot.
Winnie the Pooh.
You're an idiot.
Ask me
And I
how
don't
I'm
like you.
doing.
So yeah, that's not fun, but we just kind of carry on and we make the best of it.
Sorry, I was muted. Why is the originator of Flapsack bristling at the concept of asking if he had some Flapsack?
Well, I'm not saying there's not a time and place for your sack to be out. I'm saying that you have to know when.
Rylan,
It's
do you follow
societally-
my logic, though? My logic. He
Yeah.
told us. He made it in bold point
He didn't
font.
say
He said-
anything about time of day.
Yeah, he said every time I get into bed, it's either fully nude or Winnie the Pooh. So if you tell me you're in bed, I'm assuming
by the
there's
way-
a possibility for flap sack.
I never said Winnie the Pooh. That is never an option for me.
It's the most
That's
unstable
Rylan.
option.
That's Rylan standing at the
You
garage door.
100% said that because during the winter when you have to get out of bed and make your midnight pee or mid
I don't do that.
pee, you
I'm
have
not
to
like you
navigate
guys.
the space heater in your bathroom and it's dark and you've got flap sack and you're afraid for singeings and injury and all the above.
I will tell you this, something I'm very proud of. I probably wake up to go pee in the middle of the night. I'd say less than 4 times a year.
All right. Same. Ask me what. Never mind. You're not even gonna ask me how I'm doing. Whatever. It's fine.
How you doing, Brad? I was
Thanks.
going to, but I had to mute because every airplane's flying at like 300 feet today.
Welcome into Human Dads. It's your first time experiencing it. Rylan has a backyard filled with what we affectionately know as background podcast filler on steroids noise.
Like a menagerie of sounds at all times.
Just at all times. Lawnmowers, leaf blowers, dogs, birds, airplanes, children, more dogs. Just butterflies make noise in his backyard somehow, and I don't even understand that. I'm doing well, thank you. You'll be happy to know that I woke up at 5:45 today and stayed up and have just been on about my day. And I can't really tell you that anything crazy happened, anything other than I was awake enough to notice that my shoulder didn't feel great. So I was
Oh
like,
no.
I don't feel like dealing with this. And it was at a level where I was like, oh, we're going to be dealing with this for some time, or what's going on here? Happy to report about 45 minutes later, it dissipated and good to go. I think I was just on a weird angle. In other news, Fire Bears 54-6 yesterday.
Damn.
See, I hate your team. I would be so frustrated
Had
as
a
a
rough
parent of any other team.
had a rough spring. Okay. We ran into some teams that are practicing 2 or 3 times a week, and we went about 500 dealing with those kind of teams. So I'm just full disclosure. It was a weird spring season. We never had our full squad, I think, but 1 game out of 8. Also, uphill battle. You don't have your full squad, going to be a battle, right?
I would like to bookmark. I think we have a full slate today, but I do want to bookmark the end of the rec volleyball season story for you guys for sometime in the near future before we forget and move on to football and what do voluntary mean season and things of that nature.
So
I
54
have
to
a notable
6.
story.
We're in our very competitive summer season, but for whatever reason, the league decided not to tier the divisions. So we're just playing a random schedule, and that means you show up against some people that you shouldn't be playing. And that was evident by about the second quarter when it was like 22-0. So, not fun anymore, those games. At one point when they were kind of like developing and stuff, it was cute. I got a 9-year-old though that I don't think he should be playing in those kind of games anymore. It was fun, but I don't know. I'm getting tired of it. Old bit at this point. What else was I to mention? I don't know. Move on with the show. Jace, you want to talk about having a guy, or you want to hear some AI complaints?
You're just the worst at podcasting that I've ever seen.
The bird?
Hold on. There's a vulture and an eagle fighting in Ryland's backyard right now.
That's okay.
What we were talking about earlier in the show that I wanted to bring to the audience.
Oh, what I was
Brad-
going to talk about.
You just basically acted out every conversation I have ever had with my kids, basically.
I have a wife.
Oh, that too.
No less than 4 times this week has she brought up how she is laughing to herself at the memory of Jason explaining his traumatic 12-year-old story where his uncle decided to prank call him and say, I know you're home alone. I'm coming to get you. And
I laugh about it too sometimes, Molly. So for the record, I don't feel bad about enjoying my pain. That's kind of my whole bit anyway. So soak it up.
we don't have anybody in our life who were to act that way with our children. Okay. But understand me. If the one answered that phone call, we'd never be able to leave her home alone again.
Oh, I know. Dude, I was traumatized for years.
Yeah.
Years.
I'm sorry you had to go through that. Speaking of things that you have to go through, include this transition on the list and move on to the next subject.
So Brad and I were talking earlier before the show about his
Nailed it.
dental, which every time before we start a show, he brags about he's in
The
dental
timing,
and make
the
sure we all
pacing,
know.
you nailed it. Way to go.
He's into it constantly. Just he's really leaned into dental on the show last 2 years or so. And I just mentioned that that I feel like he's very lucky, and the reason I feel that way is because I can't tell you how many times in my 40s I am expected to have a guy. And I think as you get into your 40s, you start to have to do everything that an adult has to do. I think when you're in your 20s and 30s, you may not be quite into the home ownership side of things. So maybe you get to, escape from that. Or maybe you still have your dentist from when you were a kid. You haven't moved to a new state yet, right? You're staying close to home. But when you're in your 40s, you are fully in like, I got to take care of everything myself territory. And you have to have a guy for everything. And I don't think Rylan and I are in an industry or a job where we get a whole lot of benefit like we're not anyone's guy for the most part. Maybe Rylan more than me because he is, into computers, but for the most part, people are not coming to me.
2026. I'm sorry to stop down. Why is it 50 years after the advent of the personal computer that people still think a computer working in technology is like being a guy that works on cars?
Okay,
Yeah, so you're into computers.
First and foremost, okay, on your campaign filing notification, you said you were in technology.
You have to put something there.
Okay, but that's just like a half a step different than what Jason just did to you. So one, there's that.
No,
two,
it's
yes,
generic as possible. I didn't write on there I do the computer, or I didn't write in there I fix people's Packard bells on their kitchen desk.
Two, I know neither one of you watched Martin or Friends.
That's not true. I watched every episode of Martin. I never saw one episode of Friends.
Okay,
I have seen one episode.
They both had characters, 90s sitcom shows from when we were growing up. They both had characters who were, one of their main bits was that, yes, they worked, but nobody knew what they did. Okay.
Oh, yeah. And
we have not probed, and because every time we even get just the tiniest bit close to probing on what it exactly is that Rylan does, we get some sort of like 404 page pop up that's like, can't adhere to this request, and then he just devolves it into I do computer, or I'm in technology, or I have an AI email. So
well, that's because he's in middle management, so he really even though his industry is computers, at the end of the day, he is motivating and influencing and, just managing the shit out of people. That's what he's doing.
There is a lot of that. It's a lot of cat herding. I did have a guy that works under me say the other day, though, because I do random things that make it impossible for me to explain what I do. A guy that is about our age that works under me, he said, "You're the weirdest fucking VP I've ever met," and I mean that in a good way.
See,
because I just do stuff. I'm Spackle, man. I'm Sean Marion of computer.
And that may be,
I guard all 5 positions. I don't know.
Of computer.
As Jason was saying, that may be, and you're highly successful. You got a pool that you're always Winnie the Poohing into mid-show.
No
Lovely
one does
trophy
that.
club home. Yeah, he does it. That may be, but it's not an industry where, like Jace was saying, you could necessarily have a guy.
True.
No, but I will say what happens with Rylan and I's industry is that people think that we're a guy and will come to us and go, "Hey, you're like, where should I put my money?" And I'm like, "What?" Or they'll come to Rylan, I'm sure, and go, "Hey, my internet's going really slow. Like, what would you do?" And now I have enough base knowledge to be able to very high level, and Rylan does too. Like the technology that he understands makes him able to answer a question better than Pawpaw, right? But I'm not an expert at where you put your money. That's not what I do. You see what I'm saying?
Say, diversify your bonds and then move on.
Yeah. So we're not anyone's
fund?
guy.
Yeah.
We're not anyone's guy. Not what we do. What I suggest is there is some great benefit in being a guy or being in an industry where you know a lot of guys. And I think Brad has that. Like when you need a dentist, man, things are usually not going well. And you need someone who knows everybody so that you can get the absolute best. And that is a game changer when it comes to that particular event in your life. You need a construction guy. You got to have a drywall guy. You got to have a paint guy. You have to have a plumber guy, an electrician guy. These are things that are like impossible for you to get by in life without having. And I'm just saying that I think you're very lucky that you get to be that guy.
Yeah, I am not the guy that is doing it. I'm the guy that is the intro to the guys. And I think Jace might have an out. First off, I'll trade your paychecks for guys. How about that? Just throw that out there right now. Okay. Secondly, I'm not the guy. I just have strong connections to the guys. And Jace, I think, has stood benefit of that as much as hell, maybe myself or anybody I know within my circle. But to his point, though, really didn't take me much, and he still paid a decent freight to get those things done. But what I will say is he can sleep easy with the confidence
Yes.
that he received the absolute peak of care for that money that he spent. The
Yes.
absolute peak. And the one guy I sent him to, 99.9% of people are never going to even have access to or know to even look for this person because they're not connected to a guy. So
Absolutely.
I take his point. That said, I don't think I've necessarily capitalized on it. Maybe one as much as I could have, and maybe just because I haven't need to. Although that said, I do believe I paid $200 for a crown, and I don't think either of you guys would ever have that opportunity.
Buddy. No.
And I think another time I've definitely gotten some hookups. I'll say that. I've gotten some hookups where I think it's really coming crucial for me is we all have kids. Okay?
Mhm. We sure do.
Your kid bites it face first into the pavement, and now they've got some stuff that looks away, and you're like, "Ooh, that looks rough." I have used those connection to those guys and those gals. Can we use gals in this instance?
We sure can.
What's the appropriate usage here, right? Having a gal. I've used those connections in the past to pop some cell phone pics and get, you know how they do the commercial and they're like 4 out of 5 dentists recommend A, B, and C or A or whatever product. I've had what I would consider a damn near emergency situation, and I pop a pic off to 3 different dentists, and I'm looking for a 2 or 3 consensus here when I'm sending it to 3 dentists. And I'll be damned if, these people were not gracious and kind enough to respond with one comforting, hey, everything's okay, in a very timely manner when you're wondering, hey, is this an emergency here? And 2, giving you the straight, hey, here's what, if it was my kid, here's what I would do. Here's what you need to be looking for in the next 48 hours, blah, blah, blah. Here's the spiel. And I think I've probably done that like 2 or 3 times. I've also used it. I've also used it because I don't deal with pediatric dentistry. There's not a lot of overlap with what I do with pediatric dentistry, but we do take our kids to the dentist. And when you go into these situations, you'll get the upcharge. And I've said, yeah, just put it all down on paper and let me know what I'm dealing with here. I'll let you know if we're going to do it. And then what do? I go to my grown-up dentist and I say, hey, what is this? Is this necessary? Do I need to do this? Are you likely to see any implications of this if I were to bring my kid to you as they grow up? And then I get a breakdown of what we're dealing with here, and I get to make a much more informed decision than probably you, Jason Southward, were to be able to make just going into a pediatric dentist just blindly. So
that's what I mean. Like, I think that the benefit is less, especially as you're more established financially in your life, is less about the cost. It's not the cost that the benefit gives you of having a guy. It's the peace of mind. It's the access. To your point, if I really need a medical guy, right? Because as we've talked about many times, like, we've had things come up and I need someone that I can text and just go, listen, man, I'm freaking out over here. Is this something I need to worry about, or can this wait till an appointment next week? And your guy gives you that. And you got to give something back to your guys, just for the record. Like, you can't just use your guys. Yeah, you got to do a handy sometimes. But Brad, we know what you did. It's on video. Look at the video. But my point is, like, your guys are your access. Your guys are your comfort, your peace of mind. Your guys are like, here's the other.
And your gals.
But
you keep saying guys, and I just want to make sure that if there's a gal doctor listening right now, that she doesn't feel precluded from the situation. So she then doesn't email or text you and be like, hey, been hiding this from you. I'm actually a doctor. If you wouldn't have gendered the thing the whole time, I would have offered my services, but you kept saying, guys, I'm not a guy, TTYL.
You told me that girl doctors are called nurses. That doesn't make sense to me.
It's the smaller brains.
So where was I? Yeah. So it's the peace of mind that you get from having your guy that you know. And lastly, there's nothing more frustrating to me in this world than being oversold or being swindled or feeling like I'm being swindled. And it drives me absolutely crazy. I want to give you a very, very quick example on how I used another guy this week. I had a leak in my roof coming right down above the stove, drops of water when it was raining. Worst nightmare. Like, well, not the worst nightmare, but it's a bad homeowner nightmare. It's probably up in the top, what would you say, top 10 of worst things that can happen at your house is a leak through the roof?
Yeah, I don't know if nightmare registers, but it's certainly way up there on the beating factor.
Yeah.
Any kind of leak that is in the floor or through the floor is a floor or a ceiling.
Yes.
Any leak that isn't just, there's water under my sink. Let me replace this plumbing that is there for me to see.
Yeah, water is your greatest enemy in a home. Okay, so water dripping down above the stove. I'm like, fuck, man. So I call the insurance company and I say, insurance company, we've got this leak. Like, what would you like us to do? They send a guy out, a guy I don't know, somebody that they work with. Guy comes out, gets up on the roof, comes down with his report. He's like, listen, you need a brand new roof. You got the wood's not thick enough. You got shingle. It's going to be about $7,000 that you're going to have to pay for your new roof. And I'm just like, God damn it. But I have a guy who's in construction. I happen to work with someone whose husband does this and good friend. And I'm able to call and go, hey, I want to get a second opinion. Another roofer comes out, spends like 20 minutes up there. He's like, I could fix this, $400. You have some siding that like, you just got to do the little thing there. I just click this and I'll do some maintenance, done and done. Comes out, spends probably 30 minutes on my roof, $400. Rained hard yesterday, guys. Real hard. Not a drop.
That's good to hear.
That's why you have to have a guy, because people are trying to get you. They all want to get your money, and they're constantly trying to find ways to trick you into giving them your money. You have to understand this.
They 100% are, and maybe it's always been this way. I don't want to sound naive here. You understand me? Maybe it's always been this way. I feel like I've just become so accustomed to dealing with it that it has to feel so egregious now it has to be such an egregious attempt for me to feel like somebody is actually trying to swindle, because in every facet of our life, every single damn one, the man is trying to, like, that's what we know as business now, is trying to capture every possible cent that I can for every single transaction. That's what feels like business is now as an adult. So to say that it's swindling or gouging or something along those lines, it has to be so far out there for me to even, like, I just shrug it off and I'm just like, I'm going to ask another person, or I'm not going to do whatever they're asking, because it just feels so run of the mill now. Is that just getting older? Or is there,
I think you
a
just
good
given
old
up.
day syndrome that
Both
people were just trying to conduct business, so to speak, back in the day?
It's both. You are older, but it is getting worse because there's fewer and fewer true one-off guys in business, and there's more. This used to be a family business. Now it got sold 20 years ago, and it's consolidated up into this thing. And for the few guys that are guys in business, like my plumber, for example,
they're having to compete with those other guys.
Think about what everything costs in your life, and then multiply that times what it would mean to be a plumber in terms of all your costs that come into your business. So I know he's going to be expensive, but because he's a guy and it's him and one other guy and his wife handles his scheduling, I'm going to pay him whatever he asks me.
Yeah.
Because you know what I mean? So it's like, no matter which direction you go, you're going to pay more than you want, unless you've really got a buddy hook up on something that they're just going to, throw a discount at you or do a little something extra for free or whatever, that's why you need a guy.
I'd like to make a proposal right now on the show. We have a good amount of listeners, right?
Okay.
How many listeners do we have? Like 17, 20?
And I was going to say 11.
Okay, 11.
somewhere between 55 and 555. And I wish I could do better for you, but I don't have a podcast metrics guy. So,
Okay. What I want you to do, if you're a listener and you're a guy, okay, I would like to start a Human Dad's I Got a Guy Rolodex checkbook journal book that all of our listeners can use when something comes up and they need a guy. So I think there's like a mutual benefit here, right? The guy gets the extra business. If you want to do it on the side or whatever, understand that people are going to call you because we have thousands of listeners. But
I think they might have lost track of what you're trying to make a point on when you use the word Rolodex, because none of them. I don't think we have many 55-year-old listeners, but I digress. Go ahead.
So just like if you want to be the Human Dad's guy for something, just send us a message on any of the social medias or call us, I guess. Do you want to give your phone number, Brad?
Yeah, I'll give your phone number. And you know I will. So
and then email Brad at brad@humandads.com. And
that's true.
What is it?
There is an email. Why would you make me look it up? Nobody's going to email. What is the email?
Just find a way to get in touch with us. Leave a comment on Apple.
humandads@gmail.com, or go on to Spotify and ask for a service recommendation for whatever, or iTunes.com/podcast review quotes.
Yeah.
Is that where they're doing the iTunes rating? I don't even know where you do that, guys. I don't even
Look, the point is, just tell us if you want to be a guy, because we need guys. We just need a bunch of...
you have a guy, call it. Go to the iTunes comments and be like, hey, I've got a roofer situation. Can I ask one of you for your guys, and you can trade me one of your guys for my guy?
That's true. We could do that. Yeah, I just want to. We need to get some guys out there, man. We need to have some guys. I'm looking. We need electricians. I've got a plumber guy for if you're up in the North Dallas area.
I love your idea. I also want to piggyback the idea into turning the podcast comment sections into message boards. Like, why don't we just use structures that already exist instead? Like, I know we were all big on Twitter and X forever or whatever, and that doesn't work anymore because you don't like one thing or another. I'm not here to argue that point, but I guarantee you there's no features within the comment sections of an iTunes podcast that like are going to annoy you. So just like check in there every day. Why don't we all just start meeting in the comment section there? It'll keep carrying for days on days. Let's test the limits of this. Ask the technology guy. Does this work? Will this work?
Computer guy, does this sound like something that we could do? Or
take over podcast review section? No.
Why not?
They don't show every review that gets left. They don't always show them in time sequence. They're not searchable. Review sections are not for sharing information.
Where should we do it?
They are, but they're not. Certainly not on podcasts. Where should you do it?
Like Napster or
LimeWire?
Yeah, but hold on. Are you sure?
Oh, hold on, Rylan. Maybe this is a chance to double think.
Hold on. Are you sure? Or are you just saying?
It's the last place I would put it, other than like a notepad in your room. I don't know, man. Just put it out there. I don't know.
Okay.
It's the internet. I don't know. Why don't you guys use Twitter a little bit? You know, we used to do that.
I do. I'm on there all the time. I just don't post anything because I don't have anything interesting to say.
Well, now you do.
And I don't even have a reason. I don't even know why. I just don't do any of them anymore. I don't know what happened. I don't know. I'm telling you, it's not like a conscious decision. I just don't do it anymore. I don't know.
You're on the IG pretty good.
Yeah, a little bit lately.
Though, but not,
I know.
Just very in passing though. Nothing.
Yeah, but even then, I wouldn't say that's like super consistent every day.
No, not at all.
Yeah, I don't know.
You're on there more than me for sure.
Speaking of on there more than me, I don't know. That's just a tactic I've seen used, like a tool that people use where they take the last thing that somebody says and then they say, speaking of, and then they move to the next. I don't know
Is
how.
it an actual transition though? Like, Yeah. So go ahead, say it again, and let's hear what you're going to say, and let's see
I
if it
don't
connects.
remember what he
Podcast
said
guy.
anymore, but do you see how I've connected this to
On there
another
more than
conversation?
me.
Oh,
You're on there
speaking
more
of
than
on there more than me.
More than me. One thing Rylan is on more than me for sure. I nailed it. You see what I did? I nailed it. One
Well,
thing
let's
he's
hear it.
on there for more than me for sure is AI. He's definitely on AI more than
On there.
on
see,
there
this is-
for AI
this-
more
I am
than
on there
me.
more than Brad.
This is
Yeah.
the problem. I think we're going to look back at 2025 and 2026, and we're going to be so cringe and embarrassed at how we say things like, "Hey, are you using the AI? Are you on AI?" It's going to be like when people said internet, like when Matt Lauer said internet on, or Katie Couric, whoever it was.
Katie Couric. It was Katie Couric. It wasn't the Matt Lauer. It was Katie Couric and the Bryant Gumbles.
And Matt Lauer was the one who was, when she was saying that, he was pulling his dick out or something, right?
He wasn't
Yeah, he
in
was-
there. Like,
He was.
free Matt Lauer
He did.
from 90s accusations. I think everything he did was after he became a big timer making 20
Listen to
mil a
this guy.
year.
He did
Rylan,
something,
listen
though.
to this
He
guy.
confirmed to me that he did, because there for a while, basically every guy but me has swung his dong at a woman that didn't want it, and so I lost track of who all was doing.
Okay,
it.
I
but
have
just-
never. I would
But
be
to
so
clear,
embarrassed.
Matt Lauer, I don't even think was on the Today Show at this point. Okay, just
But was he the guy? Why are you so worried about what decade he took his dick out in, Brad? I'm just asking.
will you
Did
quit
he or did he
saying it?
not?
It feels gross the way you keep saying it.
Apparently, whoever saw it thought the same thing.
Okay,
But he had
He
a
just
button under his desk to
flop-
lock the door.
he
Was that
did.
it?
Yeah, and he
I
flopped
do
it out.
I do think
Yeah,
no, that's
flop
different than
dick.
flopping. That's not flop sack. That is something flap sack or flopping. That's no. Okay, where
Whatever
were
decade he
we?
did it in, we're phrasing "Are you on the AI?" awkwardly.
thank
and
you.
And Jace is right. You need to share with us some tales of being on the AI.
I don't want to sit here and doomer AI or have all those talks. I do think they're warranted, and I like to listen to AI coverage. I follow AI coverage. I'm into it, okay? But I'm talking about just dealing with what you consider AI in your daily life now, and more and more, it's becoming a part of our world. What did
This
he
is
say?
the worst segment I've ever heard in my life.
No, that's a Norm bit. Norm was doing a live read, and he was talking about how electricity is becoming more and more
Yeah, we
a
remember.
part of our daily lives in like 2000.
Just totally lost track of his read. It was so funny. What a pro.
More and more, it's becoming part of our world every day. AI is
Okay.
okay. And again, I'm not here to talk about if it's the future or if there's a bubble or any of that. I'm just talking about like the best shooters in the NBA are shooting 3-point shots at a 40% clip. Would we all agree? 40, 41, you're going to get paid as one of the best 3-point shooters. If you're hitting somewhere in the neighborhood of 330, right? It's unheard of. So in those instances, we're talking about 60% failure rate, okay? Or 60% non-completing of the task at hand rate, right? And in
Sure.
sports, I guess that's acceptable, but I feel like in my everyday life, AI is hitting like 330 or hitting like 40% from 3, and it just is not the same. It's not the same. It's
No.
not equating to the same feeling as success.
It's hitting 330 in a replacement of something that you were used to hitting 950.
Yes, thank you. That's
Yeah.
what it is that there was
Yeah.
something else that made me feel like we were achieving a 90% clip, and now I've got to deal with something that's achieving a 40% clip, and I'm being told it's the future. And I just how is this life? How I don't understand. It makes me crazy. How is this working?
It's
How-
it's not working. It's a big it's
And I
just-
mean
it's
from
a
every day
feedback
in my
cycle.
personal, like my
Yeah.
personal at home, dealing with apps on my phone, to drive-throughs saying short circuiting and just saying
Phone
pull forward,
support,
to talking to
te-
the employer, phone
chat
support.
support.
Can
all
I
of
go
it.
back to dental?
Yeah.
Can I go back to dental? They make scanners. They take these little wands, they scan them in your mouth, okay? And it's basically taking a very elaborate picture of your mouth, and then they compress that file and they send that file to me at our laboratory, and then we get to look at the picture and make what you need off of that picture. And sometimes it's a little difficult to scan people, or you don't get a great scan, and so these people will use these like AI helpers to edit the scan. This is all very low level presentation of what's happening here. This is not exactly how it goes, but I'm just trying to make it relatable. And they'll use AI, and we get the scan after the AI has helped edit it, and we're like, there's no way that is how it looks in their mouth. But that's the tool these people have been sold and given to achieve the ends that they're trying to achieve here, and we're looking at it like, you're crazy, that can't be. And so many times just these little instances in everyday life now where I'm like, that this isn't working. What are we doing? What are we doing? Molly says when I say that I sound like a middle school football coach or something, when I'm my 45-year-old dad voice being like, what are you doing? What are we doing? I don't understand, guys. Somebody make it make sense.
It's objectively worse in a lot of ways.
Yes.
I saw a graph the other day, and this is true in software more than anywhere. I saw a graph the other day that showed the number, and this was just mobile apps. This was just your Google Play Store, your iTunes App Store, whatever. It showed the number of updates or apps deployed, and it just the graph just shot up in the last like 9 months. And then it was the number of users was flat, and the reviews went down. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just it's a bubble. It's a bubble, and something will come out of it in a year. We'll look back and we'll say, well, we have this thing, and these are how these things are going to work moving forward, and it'll continue to evolve, obviously. But right now, it's a lot of people who don't know. It's like a set of tools, and a lot of people are a hammer in search of a nail.
It's really frustrating.
Yeah.
It's incredibly frustrating because there's a component to it that, like, you say there will be some sort of, I'm using yield not as like a gain. I'm using yield as there will be some sort of consequence.
Yeah.
There will be some sort of result in a year that makes us have some sort of understanding that then we'll be moving forward from that point, right? In theory, there's going to be a result, right? But I think the frustration for me in part, like, is a little bit of like this looming worry, like, oh, this is just how things are forever now. Like, this is just what we're going to be sold and have to deal with forever now, is just this interfacing with the bug. That's what it feels like.
You probably will. I have 2 or 3 different vendors that 6 months ago, if I needed support, I would jump onto a support page or a chat bot. I'll use a chat bot example because that's really where it's all at right now. Jump into a chat bot, go through 3 or 4 turns of a conversation and have a ticket open. And then within a day, I'm getting a response back on the ticket via email or via their portal from a person. It might not be the answer that I need right away. I might have to work through something with their group or whatever, but I would have something from a person that said, we got it, or try this, or this is why this is broken. I have 3 of them right now that I basically had to talk to an AI. I knew exactly what it was going to say. It told me it was going to open a ticket for an agent to contact me, and I either still don't have a response or it took over a week to get a response. And I think that's not going anywhere. I think that's going to continue. I think that's going to be the future of trying to deal with nameless, faceless products and services. Because what's your alternative?
It makes me want to say no funeral.
You know what I mean? No, don't do that.
No funeral.
Don't do that.
What are we going to do, guys? We don't have any resolution on my AI talk, and both of you got to leave. No funeral.
I'll just leave you here. Me and Rylan will log off and you can just talk. You wanted to do a solo show for so long anyway.
I've never once wanted to do a solo show. There's nothing stopping me from doing a solo show.
Now he's going to tell.
I could literally do a solo show every night. I don't understand how those psychopaths sit alone in a room and talk into a microphone and a camera by themselves. I think you need to be, at the very least, studied, to possibly committed if you have the ability to do that for time on end. Even some of the people I like, I still think they should be studied.
Gen Z, man.
No, we're talking about I'm talking about like Zach Lowe, Norm Hitzges, Jesus Christ. Like, how do these people just talk into a mic?
I don't know. Boomers?
I don't think both of those people are boomers. Why do you keep just spitting out generational terms for people
What are they?
of different ages? I think Zach Lowe is our age. Are
No.
we boomer? Yes.
No, the hell he's damn
he's
not.
Definitely. Look it up.
I'll look it up right damn now. I'll
Next
look it
week
up
on
right now.
Dad's podcast. Sorry for this to be short, but next week on the podcast we'll figure out
That's
how
the first
old
time he
Zach
said
Lowe
that.
We will uncover Zach Lowe's.
He's 48, so that's a big
Yeah,
difference to
sorry.
me. No. I ain't no 48, bro.
Hey,
I'm
bud,
gonna
I'm
give-
sorry. You would have been in high school with him.
I'm going to give next week reports on two things. One, Takis, and two,
Pride
a
Month.
YouTube video of the Jacksons victory tour from 1984 from Toronto.
Oh, that would be
I'm going to
great.
give y'all about 90 seconds on Takis and about 3 minutes on the victory tour, and then
Should I
can't
stay
wait.
then we can
by-
get into the chemical spill.
I was going to say, should I stay by myself and I'll have that talk? I'll just talk about the.
You can't. You
Chemical
got to
spill.
at least have Jason. You have
And
to
then-
at least have Jason.
No, then you guys listen and you guys react to that next week on the show. We're trying a new podcast format.
No, we're not doing that. But thanks for asking.
That you see how little he wants to listen to the damn podcast, Rylan?
He's not gonna. He's not gonna. He's listened to less than anybody, and I don't listen to
Dude,
all of it.
I have some other
listens
stuff
less
for
than
y'all. We
me.
need to do a big show because I got a lot of stuff in the backlog.
Okay, say that stuff so I can remember it. What else?
I want to talk about meta glasses.
Meta glasses. Rylan, write it down. Jay said meta glasses, chemical spill. Meta
I
glasses,
want to.
chemical
I want to
spill.
give you a. I want to give you a TV show review that I think you guys might be interested in.
TV show review from Jace. TV show review from Jace.
It's called The Four Seasons because I won't remember because I watched a lot of
Watched it.
shows.
I can do the review with you.
Perfect. All right,
Mhm.
that's it. That's all I have.
TV show review, 4 seasons, chemical spill. What was the third one?
Meta glasses.
Your mom. God damn it. God.
Takis, Jackson's victory tour, rec volleyball, and gyms in offices.
Just want to apologize
Ooh,
to
Jim
everybody
Sauce, that's
for.
good.
I just want to apologize to everybody for a week from now when we've forgotten all of this and I'm going back to the episode while we're in the middle of the
Yeah.
current episode and I'm trying to find these topics and I'm taking up time for the show, which I could have done before to prepare, but I didn't until now. I'm doing it while you're listening to episode 270.
Mine are written down.
Okay.
So
That's been
And if you're a
episode-
guy, let us know. Don't forget. Let us know if you're a guy.
or if you got one.
So confusing. Human Dad's 269. Free baby Jessica. We'll holler at y'all next
It's
time.
not 269. That was last week.
No,
No,
it's today.
that's today, bro.
I thought we did the 69 joke last time.
You do the 69 joke every time. By the way, what are we going to call this episode?
Fair.
AI keeps kicking us in the nuts.
Or get a guy. Getting guys. Something.
Ooh, Human Dads helps you get a guy.
Yeah.
I like that.
Okay.
Hell yeah, brother.
That's good. Good job.